Back for the bottom of the second here. Indiana up 2-0, looking for more against the Western Michigan Broncos. Austin Platt with you here this afternoon on IU Radio. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon, approaching the 4 o'clock hour. It's a busy time in IU athletics. As I say, as it's 3:45. That means the basketball game over at Assembly Hall is about to tip off for senior day. Indiana battling out with Ohio State. The final game this year at Assembly Hall. Obviously, big stakes in that game regarding both NCAA tournament and Big Ten seeding. Both those teams kind of right on the bubble, and a win for IU would mean they'd play Thursday in the Big Ten tournament next week in Indianapolis. First pitch to Maddie Strader from Grumille in this bottom of the second is in there for a strike. Strader, the sophomore, that is just such a nice, smooth sound to it. The freshman hitting .463. A pair of triples, 5 runs batted in. Statistically, she's Indiana's best hitter by average among the qualified hitters, meaning at least 2 plate appearances a game and at least 75% of the game so far. But Strader's way over that. She's got 41 at-bats, appeared in all 19 games. She smacks a single underneath the glove of the third baseman Booth and into left field for a base hit. So Strader does what she has done best this year, and that is just get on base. Not a power hitter as a lefty slapper. They're not known necessarily for their power. Just kind of place the ball exactly where you want to and trust your speed to get down the baseline. Now it's Alex Cooper's time to hit. Cooper batting from the left side, the sophomore, hitting .359 this year. Home run, 8 runs batted in. Takes the first pitch low and inside for ball 1. Grumille at 2-4 this year on the mound. This is her 8th game started. Cooper lofts the second pitch into right field for a base hit. Strader's going first to third. She slides in safely, and following her to second is Alex Cooper. And Indiana is set up. How about the bottom of the order doing its job? A single from Strader, and then a hit right after that from Cooper. Second and third, nobody out for Melina Wilkeson. There are just no holes in this Indiana lineup for opposing pitchers, and it's going to be so difficult to navigate through this lineup. Shauna Stanton calls Wilkeson over, chatting with her near third base. Strader now standing on third, and Cooper is on second. Single for Cooper. She advances on the throw. That's her 15th hit this year and her 11th single. So Wilkeson flew out in the first inning against Grumille. Home plate umpire gets back in his position. Corners are in here. Actually, the infield's in for Western Michigan. Outfield playing straight up. First pitch to Wilkeson. Lifts it high in the air to left center field. This will be deep enough to score at least a run. Wolf calls off. Kelly makes the catch. Both runners tagging the throw. Goes to third, and they got Cooper at third. Scoring is Strader. That run will count. It's a sacrifice fly. Shauna Stanton does have the option to challenge. She was successful both times yesterday in that lengthy third inning. We'll see if she wants to take a look, and it's exactly what she wants. That is new this year at Andy Moore Field. There is replay. Both coaches get 2 challenges, and the umpires will talk things over. I'm curious if this is regarding the safe out call or if they're wondering about obstruction. The throw, it was a really strong throw. You have to give credit to Wolf. We'll say, you know what, I'll surrender the run at home, and I'll let Strader score and try and cut down Cooper at third. Indiana's an aggressive team on the bases. They love to run. They go first to third, and they'll try and tag up as much as possible. But at the moment, Cooper is out. She's standing right next to Stanton at third base. So it's another fly out, but this time it is a sacrifice fly for Wilkeson, so she gets an RBI. That's her 18th of the year. The Ohio State transfer. Didn't play a ton last year. Started just 5 games to be exact. But hit .373 with 11 home runs and 44 RBIs the year before with the Buckeyes. Spent 3 years in Columbus, now back in her home state of Indiana. She's from Greensburg. And she currently is responsible for the third run of the game for the Hoosiers, so they have a 3-0 lead no matter what. The question is, will it be a runner on third with nobody out, or is it the bases cleared with 2 outs, I should say? Wilkinson's sac fly, obviously, the catch there by Wolf is the first out, so is it runner on third and 1 out, or bases cleared and 2 outs? These reviews have been lengthy. There were a few of them today that really took 5 or so minutes as the two of the 3 umpires go over behind the Indiana dugout on the first base side. That's where replay is. It'll be here all year long, no matter what, if it's non-conference, conference play, no matter what type of game it is. It's been here for the games that IU has not been involved in. And it's a replay review as the Western Michigan defense is the 3 outfielders talking things over in center, and the infielders talking things over on the edge of the circle. So this obviously will cut into some of the game time this year. But the whole goal of replay is to get things right. And we'll see if Shauna Stanton does win this challenge. 3-0 it stands right now. Bree Copeland will be up at the plate against Gramil. Jensen Gramil. Not usually you see someone in the MAC at her third school, but she spent her first 2 years in community college at JUCO. The call on the field is confirmed. Cooper is out at third. So a phenomenal throw by Wolf. And then if you are Western Michigan, you will happily take 2 outs in exchange for a run. So now it's Bree Copeland up at the plate. Going back to Gramil. Spent 2 years at the JUCO level. 119 innings pitched in 2 years at Southwest Mississippi Community College. Had 125 strikeouts. Had a 17 strikeout game, which set a program record. First pitch to the righty Copeland, who got the offense started for Indiana in the bottom of the first inning with a 1-out double, and then quickly scored on the Minnick home run. Minnick currently waiting on deck. Copeland waiting on the 1-0. Hits it high in the air, foul side of third. Going over is Booth, and she makes the catch, teetering back into fair territory, and that does it for Indiana's half of the bottom of the second. The Hoosiers add another run on 2 hits. A sac fly from Wilkinson makes it 3-0 Hoosiers, and we'll go to the third inning as IU looking to continue the winning ways at home as they did yesterday. Currently off to a good start, I should say, on day 2. Back in a moment here on IU Hoosier Radio. To the top of the 5th we go here at Andy Moore Field in Indiana's first home weekend of 2025. So far, so good for the Hoosiers. Up 9-2, 2 wins yesterday. Indiana is on pace to make it 3 wins from 3. Taylor Hess in there for her first full inning of work, I should say, out of the bullpen. The lefty misses outside to Peyton Kelly, the leadoff hitter, who's 1 for 2. Stole a base back in the third and then scored on the Michaela Booth home run. Kelly, Dittmar, and Booth, the 3 up. 1-1 is raked out to left center field. High, deep, and gone. It clears the left center field fence. A leadoff home run in the 5th for Peyton Kelly. Western Michigan's got a long way to go to try and come back, but that's a good start. It's 9-3 Hoosiers. Another hard hit ball in this game for Western Michigan. The question was, would it have the height to clear the fence? Definitely had the distance, but ended up on the slope of the hill out in left field. And Kelly gets her second home run of the year. Picks up RBI number 3. Now Hess trying to reset here. Got the final 3 outs in the 4th inning after Barry was pulled following a leadoff double by Jordan Smith. Now it's Dittmar, the second baseman. Watches the first pitch outside this lefty-on-lefty matchup. Indiana leading 9-3. Final weekend of non-conference play. Indiana begins conference play next weekend. They're home here against Iowa. They got a 2-game set starting next Saturday, a week from today. They'll have Penn State as well the week after. Time is taken here as Chanda Bell, the pitching coach, runs out. A graduate of Kentucky, now talking to a Kentucky transfer in Taylor Hess, trying to calm her down. The 2 plus Parker chatting things over. But the games come quick and fast. A game after this against Bowling Green, a game tomorrow against UIC, University of Illinois Chicago, and then a pair of games in the midweek. Indiana hosts Butler on Tuesday. I want to say that's a 4:30 start. And then, actually that could be a 6:30 start now that I say that. And then they get Southern Indiana on Wednesday. That I know for a fact is a 4 o'clock start. Ditmar up 3-0. One of the star players on this team takes the get-me-over strike, and now it's 3-1. This is a Western Michigan team which last year in the MAC set the program record for most wins by a first-year head coach. Marley Wilson, her first year last year, as Ditmar hits that one down the left field line, but just foul. Minnick chasing after it. Missed it by, I want to say, a foot or so. So just like that, Hess has worked the count back from 3-0 to full. 27 wins last year for Western Michigan, just the 6th time since 1998 that they reached that 27-win mark. They also had the program's first MAC Pitcher of the Year in Risa Bayoush. But she is no longer with the team. Western Michigan graduated a ton of talent, but that returning talent, Riley Ditmar and Kelly, those top two hitters, have been good today, and Ditmar wins the battle and works a walk. So after a leadoff home run by Kelly, now a walk to Ditmar, the first walk that the Indiana pitching staff has issued today. Hoosiers came in defensively, only given up 45 walks this year. It's an average of about 2.5 a game. Opponents given up about 3.5, so Indiana's been winning the walk battle. First pitch to Booth, who does have a home run in this game. A 2-run shot back in the third is in there on the outside corner for a strike from Hess. Booth, the third baseman, batting from the right side. Takes another pitch. This one just a little bit more outside, so it is a ball, and it's 1-1. Ditmar off of first base. 6 stolen bases this year. Scored 12 runs. Has not been caught. Definitely a threat to move. Next pitch is outside from Booth. Rather, from Hess to Booth, and it's 2-1. Jaden Merrill wakes on deck, the designated player. Hess misses again with a 2-1. That one was a lot closer. Parker trying to frame it. And now it's 3-1. A hitter's count here for Booth, who's already left the yard once today. Indiana leads 9-3 in the top of the 5th. Hoosiers' goal for this weekend was to run rule all 5 opponents. Got some work to do on both sides of the ball if they want to do that in this 5th inning, as the next pitch goes foul from Booth down the first base line off the netting in front of the IU dugout. Bree Copeland, the first baseman, chases after it and throws the ball back to Hess. Hess's last appearance was last weekend in Clemson in the series finale. The Indiana lost 8-0. 2 2/3 gave up 2 runs in that span. Line drive to third, caught by Cooper. The throw to first is a double play. Just what the doctor ordered for the Hoosiers. Alex Cooper on the all-defensive team a year ago as a freshman. Over there at the hot corner, she's had plenty of balls smoked her way. Hasn't been able to come up with a big snare, but did just that, and then the strong throw back to first. A nice 5-3 double play. Clears the bases, and now with 2 outs, Jaden Merrill comes to bat. Tough break for Booth. Had a home run. It hit the ball hard there, but you just don't want to hit it to Alex Cooper. First pitch to Merrill is off the end of the bat and right to Allie Van Brandt at second. Took a few steps to her right, and that does it for the top of the 5th. It looked like Western Michigan had something going. The leadoff home run from Kelly. But after a walk from Ditmar, who won the battle against Hess, Indiana's defense does its job, helps out its pitcher, and Indiana can score 2 and end this first game early. And to try and do that, they will have Strader, Cooper, and Wilkeson, 8-9-1 due up. In the bottom of the 5th, we're back in a moment here on IU Hoosiers Radio.